I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Here we go. Welcome to the Mick and Rick Show. I'm your reporter, the one, the only, Rick Brown. But I got a special shout out to my co-host here. The man is not a myth. He is a legend.
Oh,
Mickey Clayton, the coach. What's up, coach?
You are the man, Rick. Thank you for that intro. Thank you, boy. I love to hear that when it be right straight off the cuff. When I do you and when you do me, we both be like, okay, what they gonna say?
Yeah, here comes the BS now. What's about to happen? What's really about to happen?
Say what's really getting ready to happen right now. That's you never really know, do you?
This is the coach from the Mick and Rick Show. You can see us Wednesdays live on INSiiGHTS YouTube at 7:05. We talk about all types of sports topics and information. Everyone talks about Rick and his cup, but he talks quicker and quicker when that bottom is up. I'm just saying. What the damn hell?
That's funny. I think I speak well out of the cup. Tune in and tell me what you think. Mick and Rick, Wednesdays 7:05 on INSiiGHTS YouTube.
Man, see, it threw me off last week with the coach, and his voice had changed. I was like, "Damn, is he going through puberty?"
Oh, yeah.
But then the cup. It just every time I see it now. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Dr. Prasad said, I'm glad that came on at the end of the show, because if it came on the first part of the show, Rick wouldn't have been worth anything to finish it. He'd have been done. So he was sincerely laughing hard on that one. I said, yes, he was. And somehow Coach G wanted to know, does he see that before you? I said, no, he didn't see that. Couldn't you tell by his reaction? We completely caught him off guard.
The cup. See, last year the coach what the damn hell. That was that's my favorite line now. I'm using it now. It's stolen, coach. Sorry. But then now this damn cup with a face. Oh my God. Man, the internet is undefeated. It's undefeated. And all I got to say is you guys got too much time on your hands. What the damn hell?
Boy, huh? Well, see, I like to play around with these things like, Chat GPT and all of that. So I can't take credit for the cup. When I was trying to do one with you, and I was changing the faces and things, and when it heard what I was saying, the next thing I know, it sent the face in the cup. And I was like, oh no, that's too funny. Oh, that's done there. That's done. I said, oh my goodness. I said, that's a winner. But see, there is a negative. I'm going to segue into something. We talked about Chat GPT and AI and all of that. I tell my grandson now, okay, it's easy to do that and get information. But you still have to double check that information to see if it's correct. You have to do that, because otherwise you'll find out stuff. And here's a list it gave me of the SWAC head football coaches. I see you already caught it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now 20231. Yeah, that's new. Is that a zip code?
Mike Norvell at Florida A&M.
Yeah. That's the first thing I saw. that is the first thing I saw. I'm checking out the zip codes higher than.
The Texas Southern coach is wrong. The Southern coach is wrong. And this was after me sending them information that some of the coaches were incorrect, right?
Right.
So Microsoft Bing says, "Oh, thank you for pointing that out to me." And they redid it. And about the third time, they put Mike Norvell in there for Florida A&M coach. I said, I can actually research this on my own by the time y'all tell me. And no, I appreciate you. That's Merritt Island High School. Boy, I love my Mustangs. They always represent. Hello, Ann. How you doing? We appreciate you being on the show and following us. We absolutely do, Ann. Thank you.
Welcome and thank you. Yes.
Sports Diva, talking about that red cup. That red cup.
Wait a minute. No, see, why it's got to be red? The only thing red is that K there.
But you had that red cup that you were speaking from. That's it.
The red cup crew.
Uh-huh. And so they're gonna be mad. Them folks across the road said they all gonna have them having a fit. Talking about Mike Norvell being the coach at FAMU. That wasn't me. That was Microsoft Bing. We had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Nada. Nathan. Nah. Not us.
And on our Big Ben game of the week, we ended up with the first game. It took us a week, but we ended up with right about 1,100 people, which we were just elated about. Ricketson Godby came back last week, 5 days ago. They played Godby. It's Battle of Southside. We had 1,100 people by the time the game ended. We had 1,100 people. And I'm going to do something that we don't do often, but I'm going to try to share with you exactly what they're going on the website to see. I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to show you exactly what they're going on there to see.
It's got to be a positive play if you want to think about it too.
They need probably about 10 yards. Over the top, he missed it.
That's a late hit.
Oh, that's a late hit. Godby. It was, yeah.
Oh, that was a huge mistake.
Yes, it was. And your comments reminded me of the comments that we got during the football game. But I need you to pay attention.
That play right there.
Up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Coach got some more gray hair on that.
Just pay attention.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Coach Golson is not happy about that play right there. That was an obvious call to me, easy to make.
Yeah. First team.
Up in the fourth quarter, 9-7.
19. It's not first goal, man. Why don't they have the sticks up? You get a first.
I guess I could have keyed it up a little better, but
Nah.
good question.
Good.
How they're coming back.
Now they're coming with.
Why did they go away? I'm not sure. They got confused. It's early in the season for them too.
Man, they looked like they were trying to take a break. Now, what they were talking about then was he said, I'm tired of holding these sticks. The guys were done. They just put it down.
Let them have another first
It wasn't inside the right. But they had laid the sticks down. They were done. They were taking off. It was early in the season for them too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to work out the kinks too.
They had to work out the kinks too. But it was a really, really good game. Godby hadn't beaten in 5 years, and here they were going at least first quarter. Okay, look
Here
in the
we go,
corner.
Coach.
Look in the corner now.
Here we go.
Coach, they might not be running. Everybody's running over there.
What is going on?
It's okay. Now
What's
going on is uniform guys. They're taking the players off the field. Godby players are headed to the locker room.
They sprint it.
They're going fast, too.
They are sprinting. They're chasing somebody that's going around the field here. Ricketts is finally getting their players together.
I hear Ricketts fans are starting to run for something. Do you see what's going on? Maybe I don't know. Something.
Show them going in the locker room. The band left. We just heard something hit up against over here. Left equipment, everything. The coach is mad. The band is starting to leave from Godby.
They were like, forget that. Y'all can have
the referees and the principal from Ricketts. They're in discussion.
Give a shout out to the AD coach.
Where's the AD? Earl Hankerson. There he goes. Oh, that's the athletic director, Earl Hankerson. Godby did the right thing. They took their team. You see them. They taken and took them straight to the locker room. And you see the coach. The run started to our left. He's starting to preach to him. And everybody was streaking from left to right. So he's got a time. Then the fans on that side of the field took off to the right and started running back by where the school. Yeah, he used that time to get them right. You see him, his whole team is fixated on him. I'm not saying Godby is wrong, but this is what everybody was going back to watch. Why we have almost 2,000 views in less than a week. And now this went on for about 10 minutes, but the very first play, Ricketts had the ball. The very first play, they went off right tackle, gang tackled. The whole team was trying to bring the running back down, and the pile just kept moving. And we made the comment, he's not going to go down. He's not going to go down. He kept running after whatever Quentin Lewis said to those guys. They came out of there, and they finished that play with a touchdown and didn't look back. Now, to really tell, now Godby came back towards the end of the game and had their second point after the touchdown block. And therefore, Ricketts won by 1 point. So you need to go back up there. The game is up there. It's on our Roku page. It's on our INSiiGHTS YouTube, but it's right at 2,000 people have seen that game. But that was INSiiGHTS game of the week for the Big Ben last week. And we're probably right at 3,000 views for 2 weeks.
Awesome. And some people may think that, why are you covering high school football? Bam! There you go. Right there. Because if we don't, who will? And we don't care if other people do it. Hey, knock yourself out. But we're doing it because of one reason, because it's not for us. It's not for ratings. Why we do it, Coach?
It's about the kids.
Bam.
It's about the kids.
Bam.
It's about the kids. And to stay exactly on that theme about it being about the kids, let's show you what we did this week.
Hello, my name is Kingston Kimbrough, your INSiiGHTS Students Correspondent here at James Ricketts High School, and this is our athletics recap. Last week, our Lady Raiders volleyball team won their home opener against Port St. Joe with a dominating 3-0. On Friday, our varsity football team won their rivalry game against Godby with a score of 22-21. This week, our Raiders golf team and swim team both have meets this week. And on Thursday, our Lady Raiders JV and varsity team have games against our rival Godby. And on Friday, our Raiders football team has their first game at the Dead Sea against Gainesville Eastside at 7 p.m. My name is Kingston Kimbrough, and as always, One Nation, Raider Nation.
One Nation, Raider Nation.
And
Love
that's
it.
the same thing I was going to say. Yes, sir. We have started our Student Correspondent program. Rick High, first one to get on board. Kingston Kimbrough. Mom was over head of the journalism school at Florida A&M. I'm not saying his mom, his grandmother. Dad teaches at Ricketts. We put this together, and he got on board. We have a couple of other programs that say they want to be a part of it too, but right now, that's the person who did it. And as we say, it's what? It's all about the kids.
All about the kids. Hashtag. It's about the kids. That's cool. That is cool. And you said Kimbrough.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember Dean Kimbrough was there for my oldest son. She was there when my oldest son was in the graphic arts department. Shout out to FAMU's communications, journalism, communications, and graphic arts. Good job, guys.
And he's a freshman at Ricketts. So we'll see how that, see how this goes. But we're really excited about it. And some of the people that we've been in touch with it about are excited about the opportunities that it presents for students who are interested in this line of work. And Mr. Kimbrough himself was willing to do the camera, write stories, whatever. And so we came up with the concept of doing the student correspondence. We tried it a few years ago, and it didn't go well because they actually did the videos and sent them to us, but it wasn't something that we could put on our show. It was way more student oriented, and they lost the whole crux of what we were trying to do. So it kind of, I won't say it dissuaded us, but we didn't really follow up on it. But we've had students, mainly from the university. One of the young ladies who did our volleyball games with us was a volleyball player just last year. She now was hired as one of the assistant coaches on the FAMU volleyball team. Gazelle Thomas is with NBC. I mean, we've had several interns that have done things with us at the university level, but we're really, really excited about the high school.
Give them a jump. Good job. Give them a jump up on what they want to do. And this gives them an opportunity to not only put in the work, but to see if this is really what they want to do. And in high school, that's the best place to do.
That's the best place to start. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. So we have something here from you somewhere as soon as I find it, Rick.
From me?
Yes, sir, from you.
It hasn't been a good 9 months for the Florida State Seminoles football team. Despite winning the ACC with a perfect 13-0 record, the Noles were left out of the 14 playoff last December. Then, after a very disappointing bowl game, they started this season with the last-second loss to conference foe Georgia Tech on Saturday in Dublin, Ireland. But fear not, my Tallahassee neighbors. All is not lost. Win the rest of your games, especially the ACC games, and you'll be dancing. That's right, folks. College football will expand to 12 playoff teams this year, putting an emphasis on the conference winners. This is how it will go. The 4 highest-ranked conference winners will be seeded 1 through 4 in the order of their ranking and will get a first-round bye. The remaining schools will land where they are ranked, unless the highest-ranked group of 5 school is ranked outside of the top 12. Then they will get the 12th and final playoff spot. So here's the matchups. The 5 seed will play 12. The 6 seed will take on 11. 7 plays 10. And 8 and 9 seeds matches up. The part that's really cool is teams ranked 5 through 8 will play the first round of the playoffs at their home stadiums. The first round games will be played December 20th and 21st. The quarterfinal games will be played at the Peach, Sugar, Fiesta, and Rose Bowls on December 1st and New Year's Day, January 1st. The playoff semifinals will be played at the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl on January 9th and 10th. And the national championship game will be played January 20th at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. In the old 4-team format, a loss to Georgia Tech would have likely popped FSU out of the playoffs unless a whole lot of crazy things happened. Now, however, they still have a shot, a legitimate shot. Also, a group of 5 team will make the playoffs, thanks in part to the Pac-12 being no more. You know, fanatics love to root for the underdogs. Now there will be no more speculating, no more what ifs, no more talking. They all will have a chance. Dare I say, college football may have gotten this one right? Man, game on.
So I take
Game
it you
on.
approve of the expansion, huh?
At first, I wasn't. At first, I was really concerned. I thought it was just a money grab, but the more I thought about it, and with the Pac-12 no longer being around, and a group of 5 conference winner getting a shot, yeah, I like it a lot. I like it. And then when I was doing the seeding, it just reminded me of March Madness so much. 5-12, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I mean, it gives more teams an opportunity to grab it, to grab that ring, to win a championship. And I'm all for that. Yeah, I like it now.
I see. Sports Diva, did y'all see how they kept showing the Georgia Tech sting 'em sign during the MEAC SWAC challenge game? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I'm not convinced yet, and because of something you said, reminding you so much of March Madness. Well, that's why I don't like it. I don't mind the fact that everybody didn't get a chance to get in. I didn't have a problem with that. We could argue about it and fuss and cuss about who should get in, who doesn't get in, who deserved a bid, who didn't. Well, the only thing I like is the first round being played at the home of the higher seed. I kind of like that. I think that's a good advantage, and we'll see. You know, we've kind of gotten away from some of the bowl games that we grew up on, watching the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and them alternating with the national championship game being in different places. So I don't know. You know, they've already kind of changed it a little bit, but I'll have to wait and see. I'm not sold, but you know, I'm glad to see that, you know, that you had an opinion on it, and you know, time as you looked into it more, you liked it more.
Yeah, definitely, Coach. You know, there's always going to be teams that's going to be left out. There's always going to be teams that's going to think that should have been us. We could have beat them. That always happens. That happens in all-star picking when you pick in all-star teams. When you and definitely March Madness even. Mm-hmm. Their teams, the first 4 out, they believe they should have been in.
Right.
But I think right now 12 teams might be maybe 16. I don't want to go no more than 16. 12 mm-hmm. is a nice happy medium for me to just see how it works out. And I love the first 4, the first 4 games at the home stadiums. I mean, that gives them an advantage, yes. It also gives the fans something to cheer about, something they don't have to travel. They're used to traveling to their home stadium anyway. So I like that. I like putting that in there. And I wonder if they do that would that work in basketball?
Well, they do it in women. They do it in women.
Sure do. That's right.
In the women's tournament.
They do.
I don't know. But see, at the time they did it, the women weren't really drawing people, so they were allowing them to do it, and they really didn't want to spend the money on travel. The women's teams weren't being treated the same, and all of that. So they were actually trying to do that as cheaply as they could with the women. I mean, even the gifts 2 years ago, it was a major blow up about the things that the women received as opposed to what the men received, not being close. But the women's college game is actually might begin to outdistance the men because you're getting a chance to see the women players stay with their institutions longer than what you see the men's team do. At some point we're gonna do something on Juju Watkins, and she's bigger than Angela Reese and does what Caitlin Clark does. That young girl at 6'2", 6'3" at the guard spot is pretty much unstoppable with some of the things and workouts that she's done. But the women's game allows you to see those kids, so see those young ladies grow and mature, and you see what happens from it.
Yeah, indeed.
You get a chance to see. So we will see. I started coaching in the women's division, so I'm kind of partial to it. And my daughters were in it, so that kind of got my attention and it got my support. And we always just thought it was just a matter of time before it actually began to take off. Now you have another
Caitlin Clark effect here, though.
Yeah, right.
The game is going to sell itself.
Yeah, that's true. But we got something here that's hot news right now.
College football has started, so you know what that means. We just cannot get into the college football season without some sort of Colorado coach Deion Sanders controversy. Earlier this month, Coach Sanders refused to answer questions from a CBS local reporter. This is what happened.
That's the end of that question, I guess. Next guy.
Eric Christensen with CBS Sports Colorado.
CBS,
Tyler,
I'm not doing nothing with CBS. Next question.
Joe Rigo, Mile High
Ain't got nothing to
Sports
do with
Radio.
you. It's above that. Ain't got nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate you, respect you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. They know what they did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
Ain't got
Rigo, Mile
nothing
High
to do with
Sports.
you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking you in the eye as a man. I respect you. I got love for you. But what they did was foul.
Many immediately thought it had to do with a CBS ranking of Big 12 coaches that had Sanders next to last. And considering some past events, it's easy to make that assumption. In the past, Sanders has dumped reporter Tim McCarver with water following a baseball game, as well as banned a Jackson State reporter and a Denver columnist from asking questions at press conferences while he was coaching. But you can't be a Hall of Fame athlete and be thin-skinned. For those in athletics, there's always criticism, even more now in this social media era. Sanders has always talked the talk. He understands the media. Heck, he used to be an analyst for CBS, so it had to be more. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith reported Sanders' beef with the media giant didn't have to do with him personally, but with another reporter. A reporter who happened to be a brother had a story that they were working on, and the story was about to come out, Smith said. And when the information was accumulated, the brother was taken off the story according to people close to Deion Sanders. And in return, it was given to somebody who was white. Prime time Deion Sanders had a problem with that. He may not tell you. Most other folks may not know. I'm telling you. This is Smith talking. According to folks close to Deion Sanders, that's what happened. That's precisely what happened. A young brother that was working on a story had the story taken from him and given to somebody white. Deion Sanders took issue with that, and that's why he reacted the way he reacted towards CBS. While not answering reporters' questions is something I am totally against for obvious reasons, Sanders has that right. Heck, it's in his freaking contract. Let's keep it a buck. Sanders is a lightning rod. Whatever he does attracts attention. Man, people are just too invested in what everybody else is doing. If the story is true, kudos to Sanders for sticking up for someone else. If not, and if it is something petty, then shame on him. But in the end, the only thing that will matter is how Colorado performs on the gridiron.
Man,
Your
you
thoughts,
did.
Coach, on that?
I'm sorry.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, I got another. I was going to ask you. You're going to beat me to it as a reporter. I was going to ask you the same thing. I had something to show you on that as well.
Do with you. They know what they did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
They got
Rico, my
nothing to
life
do with
sport.
you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking you in the eye as a man. I respect you. I got love for you. But what they did was foul.
So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, and I want to see what CBS has done in recent months leading up to this to see why Coach Prime felt that way. And I came across a Sports Illustrated article. It says CBS ranks Colorado's Deion Sanders as second worst Big 12 coach in 2024. So, Coach Prime, he said he reads these articles, and that's the one thing I could find that they've done recently. Maybe it's more. But if you rank me as such a bad coach, why do you want to talk to me so much? And so I go over to their website and voila, there's a whole news section. If you go to cbsnews.com, there's a whole news section about Deion Sanders and everything that's going on with him. And his name is tagged in it, and it's a whole page of content. And so when I see that, I'm like, because they're likely going to take this article or, that interview and still place it on their site as content saying Deion Sanders had an issue with the reporter because of his affiliation with CBS. Even though he was a local CBS, he's just under the umbrella of, the national CBS or the whole conglomerate itself. But again, I wonder... when I started to think about it, I was like, should Deion Sanders had answered exactly what they did so they would have to type a negative article about themselves? Because they're still going to use their interaction as a content. You see what I'm saying? So they would have to include what Deion Sanders would say, or would that be... I'm basically trying to say, would that be better than just giving them something vague like that where they can just play victim in their article or spin a narrative rather than, Deion coming out and saying what happened. But yeah, they named him second worst coach in the Big 12 going into this season. And we will see, Coach Prime, he's got a...
Really kind of... I knew you were going to ask me my thought, but I want to know your thought as a reporter.
Well, as a reporter, I have been kicked out of gyms before. A Florida A&M gym I was kicked out of. A certain women's basketball coach would not answer any questions from me. But they did answer questions from my affiliate, so I was cool with that. We got the story anyway. Been kicked out of college gyms before down in Lakeland as well. While I don't personally like censorship of any kind, I mean, it's your prerogative not to do it. I mean, in Deion Sanders' contract, it was at Jackson State as well as at Colorado. There's media he doesn't have to speak to if he doesn't want to. It's written in his contract. And that's why Colorado came out later with their own, they came out with a press release saying, yeah, Coach Prime doesn't have to speak to him. He can come to any games he wants to. He can talk to anybody else, but they're not going to talk to Coach Prime. I don't like it just because if you're not going to explain what happened, I think it leads to too much speculation. And like the brother said there, like Stephen A said, they can spin it any kind of way they want. Just say what it is. If it meant that much to you, say what it is. And why aren't you? I don't like censorship of the media. I think the media is very important. Do some take it overboard? Do some try to make their names off of bad stories or bad clips? Sure they do. But that's just a small percentage. Many others don't. And many others take this job seriously. And without the coaches, we could go around coaches. We could talk to players. We could talk to whatever. But, I mean, the coach is the heartbeat of the team. He's the face of the team. So we need that. So it's tough for me. Like I said, I said in the piece, though, if that's true that he stuck up for somebody, that's cool. But if not, then we have a problem.
I mean, I've had coaches, I've had people that interview you, and they write it in the narrative and in the framework that they want to do it. That's one of the reasons that, for the most part, what we try to do, our interviews are always a little bit more extensive because we try not to just take clips to paint a picture of a person, good or bad, how we want it to be. People have a habit of believing whatever is written, and it doesn't have to be true what's written. I know for a fact people have written things that were not true, were not said, and were completely fabricated. I've also had, and I've said it on here before, I've had reporters tell me to my face, we get raises and promotions off of getting coaches fired. They said that to me. I remember asking a reporter one time, as you're covering the team, why do you not state anywhere on there that we have 4 starters that are hurt and we're starting 3 freshmen? And his response was, we don't make excuses for your losing. I said, that's not making excuses. That's stating the facts of what's going on. So, I mean, I've seen people have relationships with other people and completely write something with not an ounce of validity in the sentences that they will write. So I mean, and I'm not saying that all of them, but you're saying a small percentage. If you get that small percentage that's writing something about you, it turns your feelings and narratives in terms of how you deal with them. And the small percentage listen to that reporter, believe what that reporter has written, regardless of what the truth is. So Deion and his ability to speak, would I have handled it like he would? But I'm not Deion. So, and Deion is not a normal coach. It's not much a reporter is going to do to help or hurt him. It's nothing that they write about him that's going to hurt or help him. So it doesn't really matter what their perception of him is and how he runs his program. So there's always an underlying theme, and he's catching a lot of heat with names they've been calling him and different things that they write about him. And, Deion kind of, the people who love Deion gonna love Deion. And the people that don't like him, this gives credence to the fact why they don't like him. So I kind of knew, you being a reporter, you would kind of take the opinion and the stance that you did. It doesn't really affect me one way or the other. It's your opinion, and I wanted to hear it because that's your training and your background.
But I take this job seriously, and I still consider, even though I haven't been officially a reporter in 6 years or so now, but I'm still a journalist today. I still consider myself a journalist. And being a journalist, that's a big responsibility because you're talking for those who aren't able to talk. You're providing information for them. So I take that very seriously. And a lot of my colleagues took their job seriously as well, just as serious. Of course, I take it a little more serious when it deals with people of color. And I have spoken to college kids who may have said something stupid and said, you don't want to say that in front of everybody. And taking them to the side and explain things to them. But that's just me trying to make a difference in my own little way. Because I never went out looking for bad stories. That wasn't me. I was happy covering games, wins and losses. If you won, fine. If you lost, fine. I'm not betting on them, so it's no problem for me. But there are times where ish happens, and this is the line you have to, as a journalist, and what I had to learn, there's a line that you're not supposed to cross. You're not supposed to be so buddy with coaches and all that. When that bad story comes up or if something happens, you have to report it. That's your job. You have to give the facts. Now, columnists, they have a little more leeway because it's their opinion. And many people make a mistake by thinking columnists, their stories are factual. Well, a lot of times it's just their opinions on things. So that's a line in itself. Whereas when I'm writing news stories, I try to have a balance. Some people they're going to blame it on the media. It's the media's fault. The media. Yeah, we do our bad things at times, but we do a whole lot of good as well.
Okay. And once again, it doesn't take but a couple bad people to give someone a certain impression that they don't really want to have to deal with it. A lot of the reporters he told one guy, he said, look, I don't have a problem with you. I'm telling you eye to eye, it's not about you. It's not you.
But Coach, he didn't say he said eye to eye, but he had his shades on. How could the dude know he was looking up in his eye, man? Come on, stop.
There go the reporter in you.
That's the clown in me. That's not the reporter in me. That's just the clown in me, the brown clown. It's hereditary. Don't you know?
I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you. This is a great time of the year. These first few weeks in the college football season. If you're a college football fan, with all these conference games now, it should make it even more interesting because some schools have to play each other. But we got some good games coming up. I mean, Miami and Florida is always a game to see. South Carolina State at FAMU on Saturday. Texas Southern at Prairie View. I don't really watch Notre Dame, so I'm not really concerned about that. But Georgia and Clemson at 12 o'clock, yeah, I think Georgia's going to put Clemson in their place. I don't even think Clemson's going to make it close at all. What you think? What's on that?
Yes. All day. I'm going to be in front of a TV from noon until midnight, just because of the games that's being played. Of course, I want to see.
Let me stop you while we got the Sunday games up. North Carolina Central, Alabama State, number 2 and 3 in the HBCU poll in Miami. That's a pretty good game that's going to be there. LSU and Southern Cal on Sundays. Not a lot of games, but the ones that are up, you're going to see. Florida State, Boston College, mainly because if nothing else, it'll be on. You know, but you were going to say something else about Saturday, some games you wanted to see?
Yeah, I mean, the first game, definitely. The second game, definitely. Although I may be flipping back just to see what Texas has. The FAMU game, I'm gonna find somewhere. And I like Notre Dame, so I hated that they're playing at 7:30. I like their coach Freeman, Maurice Freeman. No, I like their coach, so I'll check out a little bit of that game. Sunday I'll be busy. Church. I might not see too many games. I might try to catch the last game though.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Mr. Orange Blossom Classic.
Central and Alabama State. Don't sleep on that. I thought gave that.
No,
some
that's gonna be a
deep
great
thought.
game. It really is.
Yeah.
But I'll be working, so I hope to catch a little bit of it.
It's going to be a good game down in Miami. I don't know if people down there know how good a game that actually is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Central has done a great job the last about 5 years of really establishing themselves as a premier program in the MEAC. Alabama State, a lot of people have them winning the East.
They do.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. And one of the good things about, I'm going to show you just some clips that we got from.
Well, how's it going? It's going great. Coach, you're going down to Miami, Florida. Extremely hot, and it's been hot. How do you prepare your team for that heat that you're going to have? And do you take anything extra with you on the sideline to help those guys?
Yeah, I mean, you have the different rehydration, tools that you can bring down there, the Powerade, those type of things. You need a little bit more than just water, so we understand that. I've been pretty much, I'm a weather guy, so I'm always letting them know, hey, it's a high of 88, low of 80, 55% chance of rain. So we know the weather conditions. We prepare for them. It's been pretty hot here in Alabama also, so we've had a couple of practices at that 2 o'clock mark, and so to try to get used to the heat. And the biggest thing is you have to push yourself and make it uncomfortable in the summer. And so that way you'll be prepared for the first game. So hopefully that won't be a problem, but we'll definitely have the items available in case it just is one of those type of typical Miami days. It'll probably rain and then get super hot afterwards, but we just have to be prepared for it. It'll be hot on both sidelines. That's what I tell the kids.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
I think he's tremendously underestimating what he's getting ready to face in Miami in terms of the heat. Norfolk State thought that they were prepared, and they were vomiting and throwing up all over the field. You saying you ready? That Florida heat is a little something if you're not in it. I mean, that's why certain college programs like to play in Florida, like to play their games in the middle of the day so they can wear their opponents out. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Coach than what he thinks.
Yeah, but it may be better for them than North Carolina Central, though, because even though they have to deal with they have good humidity up in North Carolina, but they got to deal with it too. And it's very important. And you see this in the first games a lot. Mm-hmm. Hydration is so important. Because you mentioned the Norfolk State players, oh my gosh, they were cramping and you say throwing up, and I mean their top player, their top running back, who was just gashing fam early. When he left that game early, because that heat got to him, the game shifted a little bit, and fam was able to get his footing and get by. But yeah, first game, and that's why they changed the high school rules, Coach. That's why you have those water breaks in every 4 minutes or so.
And it doesn't help. Godby and Ricketts, we must have had 15 to 20 stoppage in plays with guys just cramping up. But I'm gonna show you a little bit more.
What kind of litmus test is this for your ball club playing against a team of this caliber in a game like you guys are playing on Saturday?
Yeah, it's always good when you start off the season playing a good team and they're picked to finish first in the MEAC. And so that means that they're going to expose some of our weaknesses. They'll show guys who we thought could do it and maybe they can't. And so that's what you want. So you get that out the way early. Hopefully you can still get out there with a W. And the biggest thing is you want the guys to go down there and compete.
And I have to admit that after the interview, I felt a lot better about FAMU coach Cozy. I mean, James Cozy. I thought he was kind of honest.
Another scenario where, you got, as opposed to one new offensive coordinator that we had last week, now you got an entirely different staff. Obviously just, hearing about what Coach Perry's accomplished, the last few years at Benedict as the head coach, and then his amazing accomplishments he's had as a coordinator throughout his tenure of the place he's been. They're going to come in and they're going to be hard nosed. They're going to be disciplined. They're going to do the things necessary to win. Now he's probably doing it on a little bit of a bigger stage as the head coach. So there's some things that we have to prepare for, just because of the attitude of the head coach. But with also knowing that there's going to be some unknown. There's going to be some things that they'll probably run that we might not necessarily prepare for as much as we should, or we would know to run or know to prepare for. But we're excited. Trust me, it's a heck of a lot easier playing our home opener at 1-0 than it would have been at 0-1.
And I think that A&M cannot. It's their first home game, so I'm sure they'll be ready. Because I got a lot of comments from last week when I said it's a poor coach who doesn't have his team ready for the first game. But the Benedict coach was highly recruited. He had maybe 2 undefeated seasons at Benedict. And his first and he also had he's been in the SWAC as an assistant and things. His coach that led him to his quarterback that led him to his first undefeated season transferred, went to Murray State. He now transferred and he's at South Carolina State with him. So he's followed his coach. They said he's an extreme disciplinarian. So he's borderline crazy. But he said he's going to have a disciplined program. He gets after them. And I don't think that FAMU can take this lightly coming up with South Carolina State.
No, I don't think they will. I think Norfolk State, if they came in there trying to think that they were going to rest on last year's laurels, I think Norfolk State ran that out of them. And I think it gave them an opportunity to see what they needed to work on. I like the quarterback. I like the quarterback. He seemed calm under pressure. And that's what they needed, especially in that game. And he made some big-time plays.
He did. Here's some more from Coach Cozy.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Mickey Clayton.
Good morning, Coach. Mickey Clayton, Insight Sports. Congratulations on that first win.
Thank you.
As head coach at Florida A&M, and for the coaching adjustments you made as the game went on. What I want to ask you about is Kendall Bowler, the NFL prospect that you have. What does he do, and what do you expect for him going forward? Because he's high on a lot of lists with the NFL.
Well, I think the biggest thing for him, when I first got here in 22, we had him at safety. We played North Carolina and Jackson State, and he was playing our field safety position. Obviously after about the third or fourth game of the 22 season, then we made the adjustment and made the change, and he's been a corner ever since. He had the luxury of having his older brother here, and so he didn't necessarily have to save. He didn't have to save very much. Then you go back to the 23 season where you got Javon Morgan, you got Eric Smith, Lovey Jenkins, guys that again took leadership roles. And all Kendall had to do was just play. Now you're asking a guy who's an NFL prospect.
I thought he does a pretty good job of how he responds to people. And Sports Diva, insights everywhere. We try to beat, but there's only so much we could do. But I wanted to share some of the things that some of the coaches.
What kind of litmus test is this for your ball club playing against a team of?
Just talk about your quarterbacks headed into the game this Thursday and what that can look like?
We're gonna Jacoby Morgan will be the starter for this football game on Thursday night. But we got, I've been saying it all year, we got two other guys, some other guys here that can really play. Cam McCoy, the transfer from Eastern Michigan, has been, lights out in camp. Zy McDonald has been doing a great job. The transfer we was in, got in last year, that played in some meaningful games for us last year. But it'll be Jacobian on Thursday night, when we take the field against Monroe. But all three have had, phenomenal camps. They've done a great job, over the summer, developing great relationship with the receivers, the running backs, as far as throwing the football around, making good decisions. That's what I'm always stressing to them, protecting the football. But all three have had a great camp.
And see, certain programs we're trying to keep you aware of because we're going to see them on the schedule. And that game in Jackson, Mississippi could be a big-time game. They don't lose much over there in Jackson. And this is what they're saying is the best team that he's had over there. So they're expecting a lot from him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Next question goes to Mickey Clayton.
Good morning, Coach. Mickey Clayton from INSiiGHTS Sports. How you doing?
Outstanding. How you doing?
I'm great, Coach. I'm great. This season, how much better prepared are you knowing that you've made a run through the SWAC and more prepared or feeling more prepared with this season? What's the difference in how you approach this season?
Well, like I said earlier, these players, they expect to win, obviously coming in with the staff. The players didn't know us and we didn't know them, coming in after signing day, so we was blessed to be given players to coach, but now, we had an opportunity to go out and recruit guys who fit our scheme on offense, defense, and special teams, so we're excited, about the new season, and the guys realized that what we had, we worked and we was in every game, but at the end of the day, it's not a spot for second place. I mean, anytime we go and compete, we want to be on top.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Charles Bishop.
My boy say it's not for second place. I mean, it's really interesting to hear some of the feedback from some of these guys. And the last one I want to bring you is my homeboy from Merritt Island.
We've been talking this, whole fall camp and summer about that defensive line, how you beefed it up. I'll talk a little bit about both the linebacker core and also that secondary. Who are some guys that you're really expecting to come in and really show up big for you this fall season?
Again, we're expecting the whole D-line to do their job. We went out, coaches went out, we did what we supposed to do. They did what I asked them to do, get bigger, get stronger, get faster. We've done that. It's the first time since I've been here we've been this deep, where we can rotate guys in on that D-line. Linebacker, we've always been pretty good there. We got Schenkel, Warren Schenkel, Jay Harris leading that crew. They're the two vets back there right now, but we got some really, really good young dudes that, that's going to be here a minute, again, I say a minute if they don't hit that portal, because they're that good. So, secondary, again, that was one of our biggest things we wanted to, improve on last year. Freddie Bird, came in, didn't have a great season last year, but he came in during spring and, that spring transition into the fall camp, and he's been doing really, really well,
And see, that's Merritt Island. He played in the NFL with Houston, and one of his teammates, Chris Dishman, is who he's playing against in the Labor Day Classic on Saturday, and they were really, really good friends and now going against each other. So I'm pulling for Prairie View A&M and my homeboy from Merritt Island. So my Merritt Island people who tune in and listen, pay attention to Prairie View because that's a Mustang head coach at Prairie View A&M University.
All right now. All right, Merritt Island. Do your thing.
Rep, so we just wanted to give you a little more background with some of these teams in the SWAC and teams that we're going to see and get an idea about some of these programs and what's coming up. Now, those who are actually following the SWAC, kind of know already. But also coming up we got an interesting game in the Big Bend game of the week. Gainesville Eastside is coming to Tallahassee. And that game will not be at Cox. It's going to be on Ricketts campus. And I think the seating might hold 250 people. So we've been trying to make sure we're going to be in a good space to be able to live stream it for you. We've cut our staff down. Everybody want to know who the co-host, my other coach that's with me. That's Coach G, but from Minnesota. So those of you who call and ask, you don't know him because he's not from here. He's from Minnesota. But anyway, it's important to you to tune in and follow us so you could see that contest on Friday starting at 7 o'clock. But it's going to be interesting when Gainesville rolls pretty good. They just beat somebody 42-3 or something. So it's going to be a game where Ricketts is going to have to be ready to handle their business.
You know, it's always cool when people from out of the county come in and come to your spot. I mean, you have to, because you're representing not only for the school, but for the county. The county wants to see you do well, even your enemies. So, or your arch rivals. So, hey, but you gotta be ready because Gainesville, they're no joke. That squad is no joke.
I say, you know about that, huh?
This is Mickey Clayton, the coach from INSiiGHTS Sports. Boy, y'all know I love me some barbecue. I found the bestest barbecue sauce. It's online at BBQ Jank, BBQ Jank, the Jank. Boy, I'm messing around with that stuff. I no longer have to mess around trying to make my own. I'll put that in a pot, put it on my meat. I'll claim it, but it's from the Jank, the official barbecue sauce of INSiiGHTS Sports. You better order some for your next tailgate early.
In fact, I'm putting my order in because it's tailgating time at Studio 13. That's where I'll be Saturday and Sundays on the big screen watching football.
What'd you say? You claim it, but it's the Jank.
That's right. Somebody did order some, and they hit me up and they said, "Man, Mickey, that stuff is pretty good." I say, anything you hear me, I'm a foodie. I ain't get this size on low fat. You know, I know where the places to eat are. Oh, and y'all know I like barbecue. And that's why I don't mind paying a top dollar for my barbecue because I know all the work that goes into it. Now, if I get it and the ribs are tough, you can't bite it. I lost a tooth because it's stuff so tough, you're trying to pull it out. That does not work for your boy. That does not work for your boy. Because I know if you cook them right, you're going to smoke them. It's going to take 4 to 6 hours to do them. And that's that's just cooking them. I don't even count the marinade or anything that you're prepping them to get them ready to go. So, hey, I can't wait for football season. Cowboys and the Browns, and a week from now, 2 weeks, week and a half, and then after that, my grandson and I in Jacksonville to see the Jaguars when they come to Florida, and take my boy to see him playing flag football. He went to practice. We've been working on him at wide receiver, and the guy, he's so fast and quick. The coach said, well, we might have to put you at quarterback. He said, no, I'm a wide receiver. I said, you ain't nothing. You whatever the coach needs you to be. So when you go back to practice, you let him know if he needs you at quarterback. You never played it, but you'll do whatever he wants you to do because he's just so fast that you think you're Lamar Jackson, don't you? He said, yeah, Papa, yeah. I said, okay. Until he break his little butt in half.
But he needed someone like you to remind him. And a lot of the kids do need someone to say, hey, look, I know you want to do this, but for the betterment of the team, you need to do this. And understand that you may get your chance at doing what you want to do, but for now, good job, Coach.
Thank you. I was watching him. First day of practice with a team that had some of the returning players. Coach told him, he said, oh, you got leadership skills. He said, sir, because he telling them they need to be quiet and listen to what coach telling them to do and pay attention. I said, yeah, but you need to do the same thing in class. Be quiet. They'll come back from school, talk about how you outran the boy, you the fastest boy in school, and you breaking ankles playing basketball. I said, I need you to be the best in math and science. That's what I need you to be. Yeah. Okay, Papa. I said, no, let's put this in some serious time now. I appreciate you being athletic, but I need you to be smart. All right. So, hey, that's what you do. Your
That's
time
right, Jay.
coming, Grandpa. Your time coming. So you know that.
Your attention, please. Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Coach Lewis from Ricketts High School, born and raised in South City, Tallahassee. I want y'all to make sure you view this INSiiGHTS stuff, man, and make sure you dialed in because they're gonna broadcast Ricketts High School to the fullest. My guy Clayton and his staff gonna do a great job, and make sure you part of it now because it's gonna be a blessing. It's gonna be a show, and they're gonna have exclusive rights to this Ricketts High stuff. You don't hop on in, all right? Thank you.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's right. That's right. Hey, Polk County. Tick tock, tick tock. Polk County game of the week, September 14th. The game will be played on the 13th. We'll tape delaying it. On the 14th, we're coming to not yet. Not yet.
Polk County in the house.
But we will be there. Polk County. You see what the Big Ben did, Polk County. You see what they're doing. You can do better, or you can do just as good. You can do just as good.
Appreciate it. That's Rick the reporter. We appreciate you, Rick, and we will be back next week. Appreciate you, everybody.